you for saving my life. But I didn't send for you only to thank you, Logan. I wanted to repay you.
The movie starts off in the Second World War where he meets Yashida, and the thing that eventually gets him out of his hermetic sort of existence where he's sort of shunned of the world is going to see this now old man Yoshida as he dies. You know, his dying wish is to thank him and for saving his life. So he goes back. I love the idea of tying in real history with X-Men. I think X-Men has always done that really well. And this, all of a sudden you realise when you see him, he really looks the same. It's 60, 70 years later. And so what dawns on me watching it, and I think people watching it, is the thing we want most is longevity. But actually, if your life's not that great and you're filled with regret and pain and most of the people you've loved have died, is it really great to live on and on forever? So I think it's a great idea. And also the story, having that story in, which is Chris McQuarrie wrote, which was brilliant, ties in the mythic quality of the character as well as the burden of living a mythic sort of life.
What kind of monster are you? The Wolverine.
I mean, when I first called Hugh about the project, there were two things I talked about. One is I'd written 5 words in the back of the existing script, which we ended up working on quite a bit, but the 5 words I'd written was, anyone I love will die. And it was this idea for me that if we could take what was essentially an adaptation of the Claremont Miller comic book from the past, but also infuse it. I didn't feel coherent enough for a movie, a coherent sense of what is it about, what is the one thing it's about. And I kept imagining if this movie took place after the X-Men films, then it's about a man who's lost everyone he's ever loved and is doomed, sentenced, if you will, to live forever without any of them. And to me, that seemed a really interesting departure point when I read in Claremont Miller and would see these opening scenes of him in the Yukon kind of living like a Unabomber, and at the same time understanding why is he out there? Is it because he hates the world? Or is it because he's frightened to hurt anyone anymore? He doesn't want to hurt anyone anymore.
I'm so sorry. I'll never hurt you or anyone ever again.
It's too late.
No!
You can't hide.
I was very surprised to be asked back. You know, I've died twice now. But then, you know, Jean Grey, the Phoenix, it's all about rising from the ashes and resurrecting. So I just hope it paves the way for more opportunities because it's been a really great, you know, opportunity to be part of this franchise that's been so successful, that has had so many great actors be part of it. And I agree with you that this Wolverine is you know, stands kind of alone. And I mean, it is very much part of the franchise, obviously, but he's going through a different journey in this one. And it's really great to see the vulnerability and, you know, a different side to this Wolverine character in the way that we've come to know him, but yet he's still the gruff Wolverine, and you know, he's still, his social skills, as you know, aren't always the best. He's got a, you know, bit of wit, thank God.
Something's done right.
Cool.
I'm from the wealthiest family in Japan, which is, you know, us Yashida, and I think she always had not, you know, ordinary life as than other kids, and she was always isolated, and she needed someone, you know, raise up together, which was Yukio. They found for me, and so she was.
Yeah, like my characters was called Yukio and working for the Yashida family, also then, and bodyguard, and like highly trained by martial arts, and also like best friend, only friend of Mariko as well. And the film actually start like my character find Logan, bring him back to Japan, and then Logan saw Logan met like
Yeah.
Yashida family, and then a lot of things happened.
Yeah, you're not all that nice to Logan either, right? Something.
Yeah, I played Shingen and then father of Mariko, but I hate Wolverine from the beginning by instinct, and also he getting closer to my daughter, so totally hate him. And then something's happening and fight against him. A very sad role.
For 13 years, I'd been lobbying for this story, the Japanese samurai saga. I don't know if you know, but Bryan Singer wouldn't allow anyone to read comic books on the first X-Men because he was terrified that people's perception, actors' perception of comic books was big and over-the-top performances or something. So no one was allowed to read them. And it was Tom DeSanto, who was executive producer, who was slipping them under my door in my trailer. And one of the first one I got was this. And I read it and I was just like, this is a movie right here. This is unbelievable. To have this character in that setting, it's the ultimate fish out of water story, you know. So I've been, even when we were debating whether to do, for the origin story, whether to do the origins, I was sort of arguing for this. I've lost that one. But here we are doing that.